Hello, everybody. I'm Steve Reinharz, Chief Executive Officer of Artificial Intelligence Technology Solutions. This is a bit of a year in review type of weekly update, annual update. There's so many fun points we're going to share and review, so I hope you stay tuned. And I want to start with sharing credit with the AITX RAD end users, dealers, team members, investors, traders, fans, followers, general supporters. Thank you. Let's keep it up. We're finishing the year on a strong note in all areas of our universe. So we want to keep this momentum up. Thank you very much for helping us have a great year. Now we're going to take a little walk down memory lane. And it's going to kind of be fun because Doug put a bullet list of points together, and I'm just going to kind of go through them and talk about them. And I want to see, hey, are things that we said throughout the year producing meaningful results, or did they have some decent meaning now that we can view it through the eyes of time, through 2020 vision, right? It's always hindsight, 2020 vision. So how does that look now at the end of the calendar year? It might be fun. As I mentioned, credit to Doug for preparation of these bullet points. Those that watch this video regularly, thank you very much. But you also know that I don't do a whole lot of prep for these. And I don't do a whole lot of prep by design. I want these videos to be as authentic and connected as possible. So I feel that over scripting and over preparation can dilute that authentic connection that I'm working to establish and share with you. So let's go. First point here is kind of a fun one, but almost a year ago on January 20th, we put out a press release saying, hey, we're going to focus on positive cash flow. And I think we said, I don't have it in front of me, but I think I said 18 months plus or minus. And I think we might hit that. We might be on track with that. So the very first point is hey, when we say something, when we create a forecast, we're very serious about it, and we want to hit it. So, hey, that's a great way to get this little year recap started off, right? We did a couple things. We raised prices a little bit in 2023, and we're going to raise prices again in 2024 a little bit, right? I want to squeeze what we can from the market to get us closer to cash flow. And if our products can command that extra price raise, it's my obligation to make sure that we're banking that and putting it to good use. So that's fun. Big year on Rad Light My Way. Just huge year. First Rad Light My Way implementation goes in. We get one of the most incredible case studies that I've ever read, and certainly I've ever been a part of. We get the case study out of that with, of course, Allied Universal, so that's great. I encourage you, read that case study. Scotland, Rad Light My Way, an Atrium healthcare managed facility. We also went public with GXO, which at the time was our largest client to date. So that was a great reveal. Everyone was very excited to hear that. So that was really great. Our fiscal year isn't over yet. We've already booked over 300 new devices in the course of the year. So again, I love that. We announced and released Ross, which is one of those products that's going to have a slow uptake, is low priced, won't have a huge meaningful financial impact in the short term, in my view. But what it does do is it helps the sale of the higher revenue producing devices. So that's why I feel it's significant and why you guys should know. We outed another client, Rosenbaum Yeshiva of New Jersey, a Jewish school in New Jersey under a lot of threats. And using ROS and firearm detection, and a great client, I visited them a few times. They're just fantastic. I thoroughly enjoy working with them. They have been a great partner. They've been more than a great client. They've been a more partner. We're very, very grateful to them. Next up is bringing us into March. But we went to, ISC West, which is our big security show of the year. And for the first time, eCamp Secure, a division of Garda, showed their version of Ava, their OEM version of Ava. So that was really cool to be in one of the top 3 guarding companies' booths with them private labeling one of our devices. So I love that. Also at that time, I was elected to the Security Industry Association Board of Directors, which is, in my opinion, the leading umbrella organization. It runs a couple of the big trade shows and dozens of smaller networking events, has a huge amount of education and really a strong advocacy element at Capitol Hill and so forth. It has been fantastic meeting other peers in the industry, establishing these relationships and participating for the greater good of the business. So that was exciting. I was quite honored to do that. It wasn't like a sham appointment like some can be. This was a legit thing, and it's been some real work too. So anyway, that's personally and professionally rewarding for me as a happy announcement to make. Throughout the course of the year, we did some belt tightening, right? We did some right sizing. We did what we had to do in order to keep our eye focused on the ball of achieving cash flow. And that requires 2 things: increase in revenue, decrease in expenses, or some combination thereof. So we attacked expenses in a big, big way. I never stop working on it. There's been some hires since, particularly on production. We need to, have bodies putting devices together. So that's the kind of hiring that is always open and always available because it's variable expense. So more we sell, the more we got to build. Boom, variable, love it. We had a big box retailer fall in love with Rosa and provide multiple orders for us. The last big order that we got from them, 56 units, came just at the end of Q3, at the end of November. So that was huge. That was a notable event that we had been press releasing along the way. Hey, we got a few orders. Hey, we got a few more. Hey, we got a big swat of orders of 56. So that's exciting. I'm sitting here recording this on December 29th, and Rio is feeling like a hit. So that's huge, and that is driving so much of our revenue and so much of our business. Now, of course, it's Rosa is the key. Rosa has the tech. Rosa has the years of development and millions of dollars in it, and RadPack and so on and so forth. But we put it on a Rio body and boom, we close our new biggest client. So that's been driving revenue. That one client producing over $3 million in recurring and annual recurring revenue. Huge. I want 100 of those customers, and we're working to align ourselves to be able to identify and tackle and close those large customers like that one. So that's pretty exciting. Lots of development on analytics, such as improvements on firearm detection. Recently, some big improvements on our loitering detection, some significant improvements on loitering detection. And there's going to be a lot more of that this coming year in 2024 as we move to the ROSA 4 framework, which is NVIDIA powered at the edge, as opposed to our hybrid Intel powered analytics that we use right now, that we've used to date. So that's exciting. We are making headway with our first banking client. Slow going. Finance is not a fast market. Slow going, but hey, I'm mentioning it, and we've mentioned it because I think it has potential. So that's notable to share. And then, of course, in May, we announced that we had a guy in Australia with 5 rad dogs participating in the production of Fox's Stars on Mars. And that show got about 1 million people watching it a week. And there was so much excitement in May and June, which was great, which really made that effort that we put in pay off. We probably spent about $75,000 in terms of prepping the dogs, getting them over there. Fox paid for a lot of our expenses, but nonetheless, we kind of incurred about $75,000 on that. And that was among the best money that we've spent. Participating in that show is just big. I'm not going to talk about it. I can, but I'm not going to talk about it. I got to stay focused on this. We announced Allied is over 100 devices. We closed our first major university that's supposed to go public with us. An incredible, well-known top-tier university. I visited them a few months ago. That was pretty exciting. By the time the summer rolled around in August, and we were on our third Rio production run, right? So we started out with 10, which we call Rio OG, and then we did Rio Minis, which we did 25, and then we did Rio Gen 3, what we call Gen 3, and the first production one was going to be 100. The first production run of Rio Gen 3 was going to be 100. And August 10th, I announced 100's not enough for this production run. We are going to do 200. And we are chewing through those 200 really well. I think maybe there's 50 left that need to be sold of it. And we're working really hard right now on Rio Gen 4, which marries up with Rosa 4. There'll be a little bit, it won't exactly be a perfect match. So Rio Gen 4 might be running Rosa 3 for a bit before Rosa 4 comes out, or vice versa. Anyway, you can't marry it perfectly, but by middle of this year, everything will be Gen 4, which would be great. And we announced that we're going to build 1,000. We're going to do 1,000 Rio Gen 4, 1,000. Now, it's a whole different video for me to share what that would do to our finances. But you can imagine based on information that we've shared so far. So that's pretty exciting. The Q2Q that came out mid-October, we saw revenues up and costs down. And I said at the time, the effects of the sales and the effects of the cost savings will take time to show on the filings. And that was the first tiny little glimpse that we're heading in that direction. So now, as we're kind of wrapping the Q3Q, which we expect to come out on January 15th, we're going to see continued revenue increase and cost decrease. So that's very exciting. And then I'm excited, of course, to show what that's going to look like in the K, which will come out May-June timeframe. Let's keep going. Q3, of course, 435% order growth over the prior year, generating 484% growth in revenue year over year. So that's cool, which brings us back to having over $5 million in annual recurring revenue. And that doesn't include pass-through revenue for monitoring, plus deployment, shipping, and other little bits of revenue that we get here and there. So we started the year with 54 dealers. We finished with 69 dealers. I'll be the first to say that it is one of our goals to invigorate the entire dealer line. We don't have enough activity from all of our dealers, so we focus on that this year as well, getting everybody moving. Imagine what'll happen then. So that's kind of where we're at, guys. I think it was a great year. I'm happy to close it the way that we're closing it in terms of the calendar year. My attention is now moving to saying, hey, what's 24 going to look like? And so me and a couple of guys will be working on some forecast finalization for that today. We'll see about getting that out to you guys. Anyway, that's all we got. Everybody have a safe and wonderful New Year's. You know we're here. You guys did great. Thank you so much.